Imagine the most comfortable feeling you've ever had, the most comfortable silence you have ever experienced. No thought, no actual body feeling, true peace of mind. Today we are discussing the simple truth of meditation. And yes, I know I just did a video on it. This is a little bit more expansive in some ways. So, touch your heart anytime that something I say resonates with you. In fact, let's go ahead and touch our hearts now. And as we breathe in, let's close our eyes. And as we exhale, let's silently say to ourselves, I am enough. And now breathing in and saying to ourselves, I am enough. And now, I am enough. And in, I am enough. And now, I am enough. You are enough, or you wouldn't have been allowed to incarnate. So, did you feel that? Did you begin to feel your enoughness? Not necessarily as a body feeling, but as just an overall mind feeling? Especially with that smile. That's right. We were just meditating with a mantra. And like I said before, technically a mantra is made up of specific sounds that resonate with universal energy on a primal level. Now, primal does not mean primitive. Primal means basic. Everything is energy. It's all an illusion. It's all reflected light. It's all a hologram. Science proves this, quantum science. Yoga also proves this. Yoga means union. Meditation is turning off the feeling of the body and the mind to the point where we reach what they say is mind of no mind, place of no place, space of no place, time of no time, being of no being, doing of no doing, to the point where we're just existing, maybe even without awareness. In today's modern world, especially here in the West, that's kind of hard to do unless you're dedicating yourself to it. But the ultimate goal of meditation is union or yoga with the divine God energy. And you're part of that. Quantum science proves it. Everything is energy. This is made up of the same stuff as this, as the sun. It's all rearranged, but it's all the same energy. And so yoga is union with that divine energy in a conscious format. Meditation helps us do that. But unless you're going to spend the next 20 to 40 years in a cave doing nothing but quieting your mind and working to get to that place, I suggest just some simple sitting and meditating, quiet, turning off everything, maybe with some specific meditation music or tones or frequencies. But otherwise, just withdrawing, letting those thoughts happen as if they're television stations, but you're not watching them. They're just happening. The first thing to understand is that our brain does not make our mind. Our brain makes thoughts and neurochemicals that tell our bodies what to do. These chemicals are made because our cells tell our brains what chemically is needed in order to function. But on the other hand, our mind is the observing factor. It's observing what's happening to our body. It's observing what's happening to our brain, as well as observing the thoughts and feelings we are experiencing. Our mind is not in our brain. We think it is, but it isn't. Our thoughts are here, but our mind isn't. Our consciousness isn't. So, have you ever had a horrible day? Your heart felt like it was going to explode. Your brain was on fire, your body felt like you needed to destroy something. You sat on the toilet and your spouse needed to tell you about the cat barfing in their shoes. Your children needed lunch money and your boss called to chew you out over a mistake that could have been avoided if their instructions had been more clear. Yep, peppers, we all know what stress is. We sure do. Did you take it personal? Now remember that time you sat in the dark for a few minutes and later you noticed that 3 hours had passed and yet you know you weren't asleep, you just weren't thinking. How can you get to that state again? Now, if you weren't on drugs or drinking, then meditation's the key. So for those of us who enjoy thinking, it is a bit of a challenge. It can be difficult. And for those of us who love thinking, there are mantras. And these mantras keep bringing our mind back. Bringing our mind back. The initial mantra of many yoga lineages is Baba Nam Kevalam, which is the ideation of only the name of infinite love or only infinite love. When you're breathing in, Baba Nam Kevalam. And this brings us back constantly. Oh, I wonder what's going to be for dinner. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Oh, that sounds like a dog barking. We just keep bringing ourselves back to center. And eventually, it gets easier. Trust me, it gets easier. The more you do it, like anything, repeating it, it is easier. Now, the reason for the mantra in meditation is to give the brain a focusing thought to keep returning to when it gets bored and wanders away, like the puppy dog, or like the child, like whatever, as I just stated. But it keeps bringing us back to our center. It keeps bringing us back to here. Because technically here is where we're living from. This just seems like it because it makes a lot of noise. So I liken it to Professor X when he goes into Cerebro and puts on the hat. And all those mutants light up. Well, all those are all the channels of our thoughts. He's not paying attention to all of them at once and knowing what's going on with all of them at once. He goes and he picks them out. So when you're sitting in meditation, you can visualize all those thoughts being individual television stations if you want. And you're holding to your mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam. You're just sitting there in the center of it. And that's the only ideation, is Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. You can invent your own. I am enough. I am enough. I love myself. I love myself. I am free. I am free. Make sure it's a positive statement and smile. Get that brain chemical system involved, because when you smile for 15 seconds, those brain chemicals get involved. So sitting with our eyes closed for as little as 5 minutes in the morning and evening and letting go of the attachments to our thoughts can have an amazing effect and affect with our life experience. You'd be surprised how much just meditating a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the evening can add time to your day where before you were distracted. It's amazing. Whenever anybody says, well, I don't have time to sit around and do nothing, and then they tell me what they binge watched, well, you sat around and did nothing, and you let somebody else entertain you. It's that simple. I used to drink, smoke pot, and watch. You know, it's a matter of distracting. But if we distract our brain in the right way, now we're getting somewhere. So hands on our hearts, eyes closed, breathing in, I am enough. Breathing out, I am enough. Smile. I am enough. I am enough. And one last time, I am enough. And out, I am enough. Congratulations, you just meditated again. And you didn't think you could meditate, but you did. It's that easy. It's that easy. Everybody wants to complicate it. Well, they can't get my brain to shut up. It ain't supposed to. I'm gonna tell you that now. It ain't supposed to shut up. It takes a lot of training and dedication specifically to that to get it to shut up. It ain't gonna. It ain't gonna. But I'll tell you this much. When it does, and I've had it do it before, wow. So, thank you. Watch this video, this one especially, shadow work integration method. It will help to remove the blocks. Thank you. I love you.